Today we're going to be doing floor pan. I've got 3 parts I have to get in here. I have already finished the rocker here, so now I'm moving on to our footwell, the body wedge, and the actual floor pan. Those are the parts of this that I'm going to be actually installing today. I got them all from Anything Scout. They're really easy to work with, 14 gauge steel cuts, and they're bent pretty damn close to the original. What I'm looking to do is kind of figure out where I want to splice this in for the footwells where I'm starting. I have the wedge here, but I believe I need to get the footwell actually fit in first to see where the wedge is needed to actually sit. And then there's obviously the bushing that has to get in there, and I've already tightened all their other bushings down, so I'm hoping I can get the new bushing installed in between this process, so I don't actually have to like take all that apart and lift it again, but we'll see if I can get away with that. So this is what we're looking at. This is the new piece. I'm going to be, right now this is just sitting here, but I've got this much left. I think I'm gonna end up actually cutting this piece up higher, maybe like in here somewhere, because there's actually, you know, some bad spots over here still, and I have so much meat on this, I might as well utilize it. But I will end up cutting this down, as well as making sure that I've got to insert, like cut part of this out here while sliding this under this part here, and then it's going to cross. And then the wedge actually goes below that, like this, and it's gonna sit like that. And then this guy is gonna sit on top of that. So we gotta make sure we get that all fit, and I think it's actually gonna sit all the way down, which is interesting. I might actually have to lift the body up a little bit more to get this to all go in correctly. We'll have to see where we need to be, but it's looking good so far. I think we're in good shape to start. So as per usual, I've gotten stuck doing something here in the process of trying to do something else. So what I've done is I've cut out, I ran into a spot with some rust behind right where I need to weld in the new footwell part. So I've made myself a little patch. And what I've been doing is I've been painting the back sides when I weld these in, so that there's as much rust protection as possible in case any moisture gets between the pieces of metal, because my welds aren't going to be perfect because I'm not that good of a welder. So I'm trying to get it as prevented as possible. So built this piece. This is going to be the outside. This will be the back side that gets sandwiched. All right, so down here in the dark, got some holes, and this bad boy is going to go right here. That will also give me a place to create a little T over here, because I did cut that out and I'm going to need to replace it. Because when you're cutting this, you need to leave yourself a lip. And I didn't know that immediately, and I kind of figured it out later. So, yep. So otherwise we're cleared out here. Got it all clean. This is all cut out now, so should be able to get rolling with the footwell. So far I've got it kind of fitted in like I want. I made a little mistake when I was trimming because I didn't realize that the footwell actually comes up at an angle, so I did like a straight cut and it actually needed to be like a wedge cut, so I'm gonna have to fill that and weld it back in. I almost actually welded this in now and I can't yet. It's time to do the wedge first, but I did get this fit in, so I'll show you where I'm at with that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get this wedge in place, and I think we're gonna be good to get this footwell in finally. So here's the wedge piece. I'm gonna go ahead and leave this as an overlap. I know that's a little lazy, but I like that it helps me get this pressed into the right shape because it's not quite exactly the same. It's really, really close, but I'm getting a little bit of a different angle and I really want this like forced down into place. I can get it all, and then I'm gonna clamp this up so it's all level. So yeah, that's gonna work. And then you can see it's already kind of sitting on that. So I'm gonna have to jack this up just a hair. I think I can get it up high enough to get the wedge in place first, have this sit on top of that, and then we should be good. So I just basically need to measure where this intersects here on the I-beam, on the inner rocker, and then I can actually go ahead and get the wedge inserted in here into place right below that. So there you go. They're my crappy spot welds, but they work really, they're strong. That is the bracket piece, and then the wedge, it's got two slots there, and then the wedge has these little teeth. So you just get it all sat in, and then you weld it in. You know, I'm gonna do like a bead all the way around it too, but that's to give you that extra strength to it, just to get it started. So Okay, so I've got this just tacked in here. It's not really done. So I've got that lined up with the bushing now. I just jacked it up a little bit so I can get that in there. And then I put the pan back in for a second, the footwell, and I stuck a pencil up through the bottom there and marked the bottom so I could find the hole in the footwell. And I just drew this line here, so that gives me an idea where that hole is. So I'll cut that out, and then I will go ahead and throw, I'll have to put in like a piece of pipe in the upper part to like support that between here and the actual floor pan, because the floor pan is going to need a hole also for this bushing bolt support, and that will, I'll have to build a channel because we don't want water getting into all that, because there's, if water gets up into here, it's sort of set up to drain out of the bottom of the car, and I don't want water getting trapped in the bolt hole there. Or, also the bolt head is actually in the floor pan, and if you tighten that down, it'll pull that all down. We don't want that either. Okay, now it's resting. I've got the jack removed. It's resting on the bushing, so it's actually doing its job now. I'm pretty happy with the way that everything is sitting. I need to move the door forward a little bit, because it's actually colliding at the moment, but I knew that was going to happen, actually. Let's see. So that's it shut, so it's too close. But that actually works out pretty much perfectly. Just need to move the whole thing forward just a hair, and everything is sitting super, super straight. I think, if anything, I might want to try to tip this up just a little bit if I can. I'm not sure if I can, but man, it looks so much better than it did. That's too close, but I wish I could actually leave it there, but I can't. So, but yeah, that is structurally, we're there. Now we just gotta get the floor in, and I think that's looking really good. So I finally got the floor pan or the footwell all in, and I got the little pass through for our bolt. Now I have to start prepping the floor pan, getting the spot welds drilled out, and getting the bolt hole. Same deal for the bushing bolt, and then just getting it all measured out and cutting whatever I want to cut on out of here. So I'll show you where I'm at here. Okay, so I kind of ground down these welds. No, they're not very good, but they are sealed. And this was a little bit of a deal, so I had to kind of do some weird cut in. I had to cut in a piece of metal there and weld in some stuff, and so it's a little funky, but it's all sealed. There's nothing exposed anymore. And then this is the pass-through piece. So I just measured this depth and then cut that out. This is just Rust-Oleum again, to protect the inside here from rusting in the future. And then I did have a couple of little spots where I did just use silicone. That's all gonna get covered up by the floorboard anyway. I just wanna make sure that no water comes back in from behind into the interior pocket here, like underneath the floor pan. Ultimately, it's just gonna get smushed and it probably won't even make any difference, but I just wanna make sure that there's no weirdness going on there. So, but yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with the way that came out. And we got our wedge welded in to here, and now the floor pan. So here's the new floor pan. Fits pretty close. Looks like this is not quite steep enough of a bend, but really, really close. You just have to get it basically pulled over here to meet up with this guy, which I think I can just accomplish with some clamps, and then forcing it down, I might be able to just do with my body weight, just throw my knee down on it sort of deal and see. But man, it's close. Just a little bit under there. So yeah, no, this is good. This is gonna work. I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut that out on the backside and pull that out of there to get it so I can really smash that up against the back here, because I know it's getting blocked by that. But this might not be too bad. Yeah, I can use some panel bond to fill that in, or even just put another piece over it, because it actually just about completely covers that hole I had to cut out back there. So that's exciting, actually. All right, I'm ready to do my spot welds. So what I've seen other guys do here is you go underneath, get all, once you've got it all sat in where you want it, whatever, you come in here underneath here and you draw in the spots where you can do spot welds. And that gives me my spot weld spots. And then I'll also do them all along here as well, every couple of inches. And then I'm actually gonna seam this whole side because I'll actually probably just spot weld it here. But then I've actually got a part up here. I'm gonna have to do some seaming and just like a straight up bead weld. So we'll see. So we got going here. Already drilled some of the spot welds for the main beam, and then I've just kind of marked out in between the lines here where I'm gonna throw spot welds, and I'm just using some ATF as a drill oil. It works really well actually, and I've got tons of ATF. Actually, ATF is good for a lot of things. It works in air tools too, I recently learned, which is pretty awesome. Alright guys, well, unfortunately at this point I've run out of welding wire, so I'm gonna have to call it a day here, and this is gonna be a part 1 for the floor pans. It's okay, I have another side to do anyways, so I will include the finished floor pan on the passenger side with the video that includes the process for finishing out the driver's side as well. I hope you liked the video. Like and subscribe, and press the bell for notifications.